Milk products like cheese and yogurt are loved by all of us. We know that these are obtained due to microbial activities in the milk. However, many times we find that the milk set for curdling spoils within some hours. Have you ever wondered why? Have you thought why the milk which usually turns into curd spoils so abruptly? Well, for this, we need to blame the bad bacteria present in the milk. Wait a second. We have learned that bacteria was good. They help us gain so many important products. So how do we find bad bacteria here? Are all the bacteria always good? Of course not. In fact, all the categories of microorganisms have both good and bad types of organisms. So can we say that the microbes can be our helpful friends as well as harming foes? Yes. In this video, let us discuss the possible ways in which microbes can be harmful to humans. What kind of harm do you think microbes can cause us? They are tiny little creatures, right? They may be tiny, but they have the capacity to penetrate our body and start dominating it. They derive all the necessary nutrition from our body for their survival and leave our cells damaged. Such organisms are usually referred to as pathogens. Yes, all the organisms that cause diseases are the pathogens. So which organisms will be included in this category of pathogens? Microbes including bacteria, fungi, protozoans, and most importantly, viruses. Yes, all these types have pathogenic capacity, the ability to cause a particular infection. But why and how do these organisms enter our body? Let's answer the question why first. As mentioned earlier, they enter our body to derive nutrients directly. Some of them stick to the surface of our cells, while others prefer getting inside it. In whichever way they attack, they harm their target cells. And after why, let's get to know how they enter our body. It is pretty obvious that we do not invite them. In fact, when they try invading our body, we have a full-fledged immune system to fight back. However, these pathogens infect us fearlessly. And this happens through all the possible doors that our body has. Yes, they can come in through all the openings of our body. But most commonly, they enter through the nose and the mouth. And what is the medium in which they travel? Some of them prefer coming through air that we breathe. So the bacteria causing airborne diseases like tuberculosis or measles are included in this type. Some pathogens prefer coming in through contaminated water which we consume. So what could be the examples of this? Yes, pathogens causing waterborne diseases like typhoid or cholera can be example of this type. Also, many of the pathogens even require an intermediate vehicle, that is, organisms that act as medium of transmission. Such organisms used as vehicles are called as vectors or carriers. And we are definitely aware of the most common example. Yes, it is the female Anopheles mosquito that carries microbes causing malaria. So these microbes, known by the name Plasmodium, get into the mosquito's body when it bites an affected person. From here they get into the healthy individual's body when the same mosquito bites him or her. There are a few more ways like consumption of contaminated food by which pathogens can invade our bodies. But don't we always consume safe and clean food? So how can these microbes enter our bodies through food? Sometimes we may buy food from the street which is left uncovered, or sometimes we consume food made using contaminated water at unhygienic places. These are instances when you allow the harmful pathogens to enter your body. Now you know why we prefer heating the food. It's to kill the harmful pathogens present in it. Well, these are a few ways by which pathogens enter the body of a healthy person, causing him or her diseases. Lastly, any type of disease is classified further based on the parameter of how it spreads. What do we mean by this? What we are trying to say here is that the diseases are categorized depending on their means of spreading. Let me explain. Some diseases like tuberculosis or chickenpox are spread from person to person. Such types of diseases are called communicable diseases. The most common example is a cold. You might have noticed that when one person has a cold, few others present around that person also get infected. On the other hand, we have non-communicable diseases that do not spread from person to person. Such types include cancer and diabetes. Close interaction with a person having cancer or diabetes will not result in it being passed on. However, these types are not caused by any type of pathogens. Well, this was about microbial harm caused to human health. Do you think that just like us, even other animals get infected with diseases? And what about plants? Watch our next video to know the answers.